There's a misconception in our hobby that the smaller the game, the less potent of an experience, a lingering remnant from some macho nonsense that supposed real gamers endure 4+ grueling hours to play supposed real games. But now, more than ever, rich, tense experiences come in all themes and sizes, and no game demonstrates this better than Dandelions. Taking 15 to 20 minutes and sitting 2 to 3 players, the game presents itself as a warm breeze, a summer palette radiating from the table. Players start the game by rolling their 11 dice while, as the rulebook puts it, imagining what it would be like to be the seeds of a dandelion carried away by the wind, which is adorable, though would be overly saccharine nonsense if the rulebook weren't otherwise spectacularly clear in a scant 4 pages. Then, players take turns playing 1 dice, moving their pawn clockwise around the spaces in the 5 gardens. If they land on another pawn, they float on, bobbing the same amount of spaces on their die. Once they land on an empty space, though, their dice, their current seed, is planted in the garden. But in a surprisingly ruthless twist of gardening warfare, all other players' planted dice of that same number are displaced into one of the neighboring gardens. This is done for 11 rounds, planting each player's 11 dice, after which each dice scores for the printed number on each garden. Then the player with the most dice in each garden scores for the total number of their pips shown in that garden, and that makes up the game. A game of few components, few points of interaction, that's extremely accessible but full of nothing but huge choices and an extremely vibrant and surprisingly visceral theme. Do you aim for the single space but 8 point per die final garden, risking wrapping back around to the wide open but lower point start, or concentrate your big dice on area control, though stacking all your 6s is a risk when all dice of a number can be displaced? And speaking of which, for so few turns, the game has you pivoting your best laid plans as you adapt to the winds of change. Displaced dice and new pawn positions present opportunities. Like the avatar herself, success in Dandelions demands you walk with the wind, be the leaf. It's not a game of great depth, but it is a game of great decisions. Though, like all the best things, it isn't for everyone. It's abstract, it's narrow, and if flower beds and floating seeds just aren't your jam, no amount of flowery rulebook fodder will change the theme. But Dandelions proves that tension, suspense, and nuance are not antithetical to ease, approachability, and concise play, and that as gamers, we should be open to excellence in cardboard boxes, great and small.